while back, I made a video where I replaced the complete shifter in the Chevy HHR. Well, you don't really have to do that if you have the time. You can save probably about $85 to $120 by getting a kit, and this is the kit right here, and rebuilding the shifter yourself. This kit is not only good for Chevy HHRs, but I believe it also works on Cobalts, anything that has a shifter similar to this, that I mean Saturns, something like that. But here it is. It comes with the instructions and a whole bunch of pieces and parts that you will have to take out of this one and put these in. And it seems a little intimidating at first, but I believe if you follow the directions, go step by step. First thing you want to do is to remove the shifter, of course, and I did that in a previous video. This is just on here loosely, so you'll want to put the shifter in the reverse, and you got to push down on this tab right here to do that. I moved the pin back, but normally this was broken. I could do it without that when it was broken. So next, what you want to do is rotate this piece here and pull it down, and you can get to a set screw right here, which will take an Allen wrench, I call them, hex key wrench. Once you find the right hex key, you can remove this Allen screw, and this hex key happens to be 3/32. Then you just pull the knob off. You don't have to really take it all the way out, the screw, and you can take this piece off too as well. Okay, next what I need to do is remove this pivot shaft right here. It's supposed to be a pin in some of these. Well, I broke that one, so I'm not worried about it. And I believe I can just pull it out right here. Okay, when you do that, it allows this shifter to drop down. Once the shaft is out, the shifter drops down and gets kind of funky in there, and if you're lucky it'll fall out, I guess. After this falls out, this pin here would have to be pressed out, and I think I'm going to try and tap it out with that small hammer. And there it is. So you're left with this. In order to get the rest of this plastic stem, which goes in here, which is broken, out of here, and there's a spring at the bottom, I need to go tap on this very hard on something hard and see if I can't force that piece to come out. I'm going to go over to the vise and tap on it on the vise and see if I can't get that piece out. My vise had a good solid flat surface where I was able to tap on the end and bring this piece out here. And yeah, my spring is right about here in the tube, so you want to keep your spring, don't lose that. Now what I need to do is a measurement. So this kit comes with a few different parts and pieces, and okay, pick the right length for the application you're going to use. You can see the other one's too small, so that's the longest one there is right there. Okay, per instructions, I'm going to grease the new stem. I'm going to be using some white lithium grease. And that's probably more than they put on it at the factory. So anyway, then you put your stem, you put your, yes, you put the plastic piece back into the stem and it'll contact the spring. What I want to do, there's a little hole right here. It's almost like a side hole. And I can line the hole up in the stem with this hole and it should come out down here the same way. So I've got the stem in there. This is the old piece, goes over here. Now what I need to do is to press this plastic rod down into the tube, into the shaft, and line the hole up where I can get this pin through. Now the pin is longer on one side than the other. You want the longer side, this side here, to be on this side of this. So stick it in there, and it has serrated spots on it, so it's going into metal, and it's definitely going to have to be hammered in. I'll tap it in with a hammer, and I just happen to have my little hammer handy. Using spare parts as a demonstration, I want to get the ridges on this pin centered inside this metal piece here, and in order to do so, I'm going to go over to the vise where I can get a little more support than holding it in my hand. Okay, the longer edge of this pin, I've got it in there pretty good now, but this longer edge right here, this longer edge of the pin should extend about 7/8 inches out from this mold right here, molded piece, the shifter, and it'll be properly installed. To be properly installed, and I'm pretty close. It says approximately, so I'm going to go with what I have here. The next step I'm following is to put the shifter back in, and it installs from the bottom, same way it came out. Just work it around until you can get these holes, and get these holes right here where I can put one of these shaft pieces back up through and lock it in here. There's two of these, they're identical, so that's where I am now. I'm going to grease this up with my white lithium grease. I've got that lubricated. I'm going to go on the back side over here. Saw that or not. I'm just sort of pushing it in as I go, and I'm probably going to end up tapping this in with a hammer as well. It doesn't say to tap it in, but sometimes you can use the hammer handle and it's not as drastic. Okay, I just tapped it in with a hammer, came through right here, pretty nice. The pins all look like where they're supposed to be. Seems to be a little stiff. I don't know what that's all about. I'll try and figure it out. Way previously, before this repair, I had tried to institute a repair with this pin here with some JB weld. And what I've actually caused is to make the shaft right in here a little tighter than it should be. Otherwise it would slide up and down easier. That's where my tightness is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some lubricate down in there and then work up and down a few times. And once you're satisfied you've got your piece in properly and it's working properly, then it's time to put the handle back on. And that's pretty easy to do. Whoops. Most of the time. If you remember how you took it off, it should go right back on the same way. Slide it back down on there. Now, tighten it in. Or not. I'm not sure I have this on right. Okay, I got it right now. Time to screw the outlet screw back in. Pull your piece back up. Fits right up there tight, nice and tight. And you should be good to go from here. So once you're satisfied that it's, got to pull this back because you don't have your electrical hooked up. Once you're satisfied that it's hitting all the spots, lubricate a little bit in here where the pin will travel. And then on the back side here, make sure it's getting your micro switch, and it is. Mine's still just a tad bit stiff, but with some use it will definitely loosen up. Anyway, hold that down, shift, then back up there, and your micro switch is good. So there you go. It isn't that hard. They give you a spare metal rod, a spare bottom piece, and two sizes of plastic rods that go up in here. Mine used the longer one for the HHR. Good set of instructions. They're not all that hard to follow. Watching this video helps. I'll leave a link to where I got this kit. Till the next video, thanks for subscribing and watching. This is Cars, Trucks, and Detours. Bye for now.